An 8th-century-old warrior blueprint exists that can fundamentally overhaul your existence in 7 precise stages. You have likely never encountered this philosophy explained with the gravity it deserves. Imagine possessing an ancient psychological framework forged through centuries of combat, designed to grant you total mental transparency, unbreakable bravery, and a reservoir of internal power that remains inaccessible to the average person. We are not discussing superficial self-improvement trends. This is not about some temporary motivational weekend. This is Bushido, a rigorous discipline that cultivated individuals who could stare down mortality with tranquility, execute the most grueling choices without a second of doubt, and uphold their personal truth even when the entire world stood in opposition. Here is the startling truth. These 7 pillars were never intended solely for the elite swordsman. They represent a timeless operational manual for anyone in any era navigating any crisis. Are you prepared to learn how feudal warriors can teach you to become an unstoppable force in our chaotic modern age? Before diving deep into these secrets, please subscribe, like this video, and drop a comment explaining which specific area of your life requires a massive breakthrough right now. Make a public vow to transform that reality today. Now, let us begin. Part 1. The principle that eradicates hesitation. How often does indecision leave you stuck in place? Which massive opportunities have slipped through your fingers because you overanalyzed the risk? How many times did your gut know the right path, yet you lacked the grit to move? You are experiencing the primary disease of the modern era, cognitive paralysis. The samurai possessed a lethal remedy for this. It is the virtue of gi. This is not synonymous with being nice. Gi is about forging a moral instrument so precise that you can identify and execute the correct path instantly, even when that choice carries a heavy personal burden. Look at it this way. When your core standards are non-negotiable, you no longer need to weigh options. You simply act. Direct action flows effortlessly from a heart with unwavering standards. Practice step 1. Establish your 5 absolute non-negotiables. Document them clearly. Display them where they cannot be ignored. When a crisis hits, ask, which path mirrors my soul? It is not about reaching perfection. It is about achieving radical consistency. An ancient warrior would sacrifice his physical form before betraying his word. You do not need to perish, but you must be prepared to endure the weight of your integrity. Tell me, when did you last choose the difficult right over the easy wrong? That is the philosophy in motion. You sacrifice immediate gain to preserve your character. Part 2. The remedy for terror. Most people assume bravery means an absence of fear. They are wrong. The most pervasive myth you've been fed is that the courageous feel no trepidation. That is pure fiction. Genuine grit is feeling the cold sweat of anxiety and moving forward regardless. It is the awareness of potential catastrophe, injury, or social exile and executing the mission anyway. The swordsman's philosophy was blunt. Rehearse your demise every morning to live without chains. They visualize their own end and the loss of every possession, not out of darkness, but to develop a mind that is psychologically bulletproof. Practice step 2. Every single day, confront one thing that triggers your anxiety. It doesn't need to be a grand gesture. Perhaps it is speaking to a stranger you intimidate. Maybe it is submitting a proposal for a role you feel underqualified for. It could be launching that creative venture you have hidden for years. The courage engine functions like a bicep. The more you strain it, the more resilient it grows. Consider this legendary account. Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest duelist to ever live, survived over 60 life-or-death battles. His secret regarding fear? He admitted to feeling it every single time. The difference was he never allowed fear to sit in the captain's chair. Part 3. The hidden reservoir of strength. Here's a reality that flips your understanding of status. The loudest individual in the room is almost never the most powerful. Jin, or authentic benevolence. This is not about being soft or overly pleasant. Jin is having such immense certainty in your own capabilities that you can easily afford to be gentle. It is the realization that peak power never needs to scream for attention. Picture the most dangerous warrior alive. Now imagine him stopping to guide a struggling stranger. That's the duality of Jin. Practice step 3. Once a week, exercise your authority through kindness. Guide a newcomer in your industry. Assist a peer who is drowning in work. Offer grace to someone who has been abrasive toward you. Forgiving a rude person isn't a sign of fragility. You do it because your inner peace is too vast to be disturbed by their noise. True strength is the ability to be gentle in a world of blades. The person who maintains their composure under fire possesses a sovereignty that cannot be stolen. Part 4. The commander's true asset. Do you recognize the massive gulf between compliance and respect? People obey out of fear until the threat is removed. They follow out of respect until the end of time. Rei, magnetic dignity. This is not about empty manners or superficial pleasantries. Rei is treating every soul as if they possess infinite value, because they do.
There is a story that shifts perspectives. A high-ranking warrior encountered a beggar on a dusty trail. While others ignored the man, this leader stopped and bowed with the same reverence he would show a king, asking how he could serve. When questioned, he explained, "Dignity is not a rank, it is a recognition of the shared human spark." Practice step 4. For the next 7 days, treat every person, from the executive to the delivery driver, with identical focus and honor. Observe how this shifts not only their perception of you, but your own self-worth. Those who master this frequency become effortless leaders, not because they demand a throne, but because their presence earns it. Part 5. The ultimate currency. What is the most scarce resource in the current economy? It isn't capital or data, it is reliability. Makoto, tactical truth. This is about becoming an individual whose word is as solid as iron. When you speak, the world knows it is done. When you promise, it is a historical fact. Practice step 5. For 1 month, only give your word when you are 100% certain you can deliver. If there is a doubt, stay silent. Instead, develop a reputation for over-delivering and under-promising. There is a tale of a warrior who vowed to deliver a scroll by dusk. He was ambushed, lost his mount, and suffered deep wounds. He trekked 20 miles on foot while losing blood, arrived at the gates exactly on time, handed over the message, and only then collapsed. Does that sound extreme? Perhaps, but imagine the market value of that level of trust. Imagine the professional invincibility of being the person who never fails. A leading psychologist specializing in ancient ethics noted that the warrior code provides a structure our modern culture has abandoned, a blueprint for character built on eternal laws rather than convenience. Neuroscientists add that these practices rewire the frontal cortex, enhancing decision-making and emotional regulation. Even modern Stoics like Ryan Holiday argue that the ancients understood a forgotten truth. Your character is your ultimate destination. Part 6. The shadow you leave behind. Here is a question that should keep you awake. When you are gone, what will be the echo of your life? Meiyo, honor as a legacy. Meiyo isn't about fame or social media metrics. It is about conducting your life as if every private moment were being broadcast to the world. Practice step 6. Every Sunday evening, perform an audit. If this past week were your entire biography, would you stand tall during the reading? If not, pivot immediately. The samurai lived as if 1,000 future generations were watching their every move. This might sound restrictive, but it is actually the ultimate freedom. When you serve a mission greater than your own ego, the petty annoyances of life lose their ability to wound you. Part 7. Intelligent allegiance. This final pillar is the most frequently misunderstood. Many believe loyalty means blind compliance. They couldn't be more wrong. Chugi, rational devotion. Genuine loyalty isn't about staying quiet. It is about being devoted to the shared values of a person or group, not the individual themselves. If a leader or organization violates their stated ethics, your obligation to follow them ends. This applies to yourself as well. Practice step 7. Prioritize loyalty to your own core principles first. Then offer your dedication to the people who mirror those standards. If someone demands you compromise your soul in the name of loyalty, they have already forfeited their right to it. But here is the secret most people miss. These virtues are a closed circuit. They work in a synergy. When you sharpen one, the others naturally become more potent. Modern data reveals that individuals with a rigid ethical framework suffer significantly less from modern anxiety and stress. Why? Because when your identity is clear, life becomes simpler. Not easier, but the fog vanishes. You now hold the same code that transformed warriors into legends. But here is the stinging reality. Possessing this knowledge changes nothing. Applying it through the grind of daily life for months and years changes everything. I challenge you to a 30-day trial. Pick one virtue, just one. If you choose Gi, prioritize principles over comfort. If you pick Yu, face one fear daily. For Jin, practice intentional mercy. For Rei, give everyone your full presence. For Makoto, keep every single promise. For Meiyo, act as if the world is watching. For Chugi, stay true to your soul. After a month, come back to this video on the Winds of Thought channel and report your progress. I will be checking the feed. The gap between a life of mediocrity and a life of greatness is not luck. It is having a code that anchors you when the world descends into chaos. Will you keep drifting, or will you choose the path of the warrior? Which virtue do you need most? Let us build this community of growth together. Watch the next video on your screen to continue this transformation.